My fiancé declared at our dinner, "Big news. My ex is going to be our best man. He's family," I replied. Wow. Then I emailed the venue with an updated guest list, minus her, plus a refund. When the event coordinator called her about the cancellation policy, she realized what my wow truly meant. I'm Caleb, 35, a contractor by trade. I value sturdy foundations, clear blueprints, and relationships grounded in mutual respect. For the past year, I thought my fiancée, Olivia, 32, and I were constructing a marriage. Our wedding was 3 months out, the venue secured, deposits paid, mostly by me, and the guest list set. I was mistaken about the partnership. The foundation was flawed, and it took one glaring fracture to see it. That fracture had a name: Ethan. Ethan was Olivia's college ex. Their romance ended years ago, but he lingered, a constant presence, a shared joke I wasn't in on, a best friend whose input she valued too much. I let it slide because I loved her, and I'm not the jealous type. I trusted her when she said, "He's like a brother, it's totally platonic." Last Thursday, we were at a dinner with her parents to celebrate the 3-month countdown to the wedding. The mood was festive until Olivia tapped her glass, a smug grin spreading across her face. "I have an amazing surprise," she announced, beaming at me. "I've been thinking about the perfect best man since Caleb doesn't have a brother, and I wanted someone who feels like family to us both." My best friend, Ryan, was already my best man, a detail she seemed to overlook. She reached across the table, grabbing Ethan's hand. He'd joined us for dinner. "So I asked Ethan to be our best man, and he agreed." Her parents burst into cheers. "Oh, sweetheart, that's brilliant!" her mom exclaimed. "Ethan's practically family already." I sat there, my spoon frozen midair. The room shrank to one image: Olivia's triumphant smile, Ethan's cocky smirk, and a slight nod in my direction. He wasn't her brother, he was her ex, and she'd just declared him my equal at our wedding, sidelining my best friend without so much as a discussion. It wasn't a proposal, it was a dictate. A strange calm washed over me. No rage, no outburst, just a crystal clear moment of understanding. She didn't view us as partners. I was a side character in her narrative, one that still starred Ethan. I set my spoon down, gave her a small, controlled smile. "Wow," I said, nothing more. She took it as awe. "Right?" "It just feels so right." The rest of the dinner blurred. I nodded and smiled on cue, but mentally I was tearing down our entire plan, the plan of us. The next morning, I didn't confront her. No arguments. I opened my laptop and the detailed wedding spreadsheet I'd managed. I was the main contact for most vendors, and my credit card covered the deposits. My first email went to Miss Carter, our coordinator at the Grandview Pavilion. Subject: Event Update. Booking number 45,678. Dear Ms. Carter, I'm writing to inform you of a major change to our scheduled event. The wedding is canceled. Instead, I'll host a solo family and friends gathering on the same date and time. The guest list is updated, attached, with a new head count of 72, down from 150. Please provide an updated invoice reflecting the reduced per-head cost and process a refund for the 78 guests no longer attending. Also, remove Olivia as a contact for this event. Regards, Caleb. I sent similar emails to the caterer, DJ, and photographer, updating them on the event's new scope. Then I waited. Olivia was oblivious for 2 days, chatting about dress alterations and floral arrangements. On Saturday, her phone rang, the venue's number on the screen. She answered brightly, "Hi, Miss Carter?" Her face shifted from confusion to shock, then fury. "What cancellation policy?" "What do you mean, my portion?" She slammed the phone down, glaring at me. She finally got what my wow meant. Update 1. The fallout was as fiery as you'd expect. After hanging up with Miss Carter, Olivia's composure shattered. "What did you do?" she yelled, her voice bouncing off our apartment walls. The venue says you slashed the guest list and removed me as a contact. They're charging me a cancellation fee for my guests. I looked up from my coffee, calm as ever. No, I said. I made a call about my event and my guest list, just like you made a call about my wedding party. You showed me we're not a team, so I unteamed the event. You're sabotaging our wedding over a misunderstanding. It wasn't a misunderstanding, Olivia. You announced your ex would be my best man without asking. That's not a partnership. Her defense was a textbook gaslight. You're being paranoid. I told you Ethan's family. This is who I am. If you loved me, you'd accept it. I do accept who you are, I replied. I just don't accept it for me as my wife. Her family came next. Her mom called, voice thick with anger and tears. You're shaming us. After all we've done to embrace you, you pull this? You're throwing away the best thing in your life over nothing. Was it nothing? I asked. Because it felt like everything. Olivia and Ethan launched a smear campaign, telling mutual friends I was having a groomzilla breakdown, calling me jealous and controlling, claiming I was cutting her off from her support system. They painted me as unhinged, buckling under wedding stress. The real clincher came Tuesday when Olivia insisted we meet to sort out logistics. I agreed, hoping for some mature closure. We met at a cafe. Of course, Ethan tagged along. I had my laptop open to show vendor updates. On the screen was our wedding logo, a sleek C and O monogram for invitations, napkins, the cake, symbolizing our union. As I spoke to Olivia, Ethan leaned over, smirking at the screen. It's nice, but it's missing something. He grabbed a pen and a napkin I'd been jotting on, swiftly sketching our monogram and adding a bold E in the center. There, he said, sliding it toward me. C-O-N-E. The whole family. Perfect. Olivia laughed. Actually laughed. That was it. My last flicker of doubt vanished. This wasn't a one-off error. It was their dynamic, a twisted, disrespectful trio where I was the outsider, the bankroller, the punchline. I said nothing, packed my laptop, folded the napkin, and tucked it in my pocket. We're done here, I said, and left. Back home, I canceled the family gathering too. I emailed all vendors, terminating contracts, knowing I'd lose every deposit. $15,000 gone. It was the price of my freedom, and worth it. Then I sent a group email to all 150 original guests. Subject: cancellation of Caleb and Olivia's wedding. Dear friends and family, with a heavy heart, I must inform you that my wedding to Olivia is canceled due to irreconcilable differences regarding the core values of partnership and respect essential for marriage. I'm sorry for any inconvenience, especially for those with travel plans. Please send me receipts for non-refundable flights or hotels, and I'll reimburse you fully. Thank you for your support. Sincerely, Caleb. I didn't spill the details or name Ethan. I took responsibility for the cancellation, offering to cover costs, stripping away their Caleb's a control freak narrative with a calm, final statement. The game was done. Update 2. The email landed like a quiet grenade. The response was immediate, but not what Olivia and Ethan expected. My phone buzzed with calls, not angry ones, but from my family and close friends offering support. I gave them the brief, honest version, and they all said, "You made the right call." Olivia's circle, fed the Caleb's controlling story, was thrown off. Why would a controlling groomzilla cancel everything and offer to pay for everyone's travel? Their narrative started cracking. The financial reality hit Olivia hard. First came a call from the upscale resort where our honeymoon was booked, a hefty, non-refundable deposit I'd paid. The reservation in both our names was canceled, and they called her to confirm. Losing that dream trip stung, I heard, but the real blow was my final move. During planning, Olivia's parents had promised to cover big-ticket items, her $7,000 designer gown, $4,000 in flowers, and a $2,500 rehearsal dinner deposit. I'd fronted these on my card, expecting reimbursement before the wedding. Post-breakup, They went silent, assuming I'd absorb the cost. They miscalculated. My lawyer sent a professional, unemotional letter demanding repayment for funds I'd advanced on their behalf, for services no longer needed, with itemized receipts and credit card statements. It closed. We request full payment of $13,500 within 30 business days to resolve this matter. The message was clear. Our relationship is over, but your financial duty isn't. A week later, Olivia showed up at my door, her usual fire replaced by a desperate, hollow look. "Caleb, please," she said, voice shaky. "We can fix this." "I messed up. I'll cut Ethan out. We don't need a big wedding, just the courthouse, you and me." It was a performance, but I saw through it. She wasn't sorry for betraying me. She was sorry for the consequences, losing the cushy life I funded, the dream wedding, the status. I didn't let her in. "It's too late, Olivia," I said from the doorway. I pulled the napkin from my pocket, showing her the CONE sketch. "This was never just about the best man. This is your vision of marriage, you, him, and me as the silent backer. You didn't just disrespect our wedding, you disrespected the idea of us." Her face fell at the napkin. She couldn't spin it. "I've boxed your things," I said. "They're in the guest room. My cousin will be here tomorrow to oversee pickup." I shut the door on her tearful pleas, feeling free for the first time in months. Final update. Over 6 months since I closed the door on Olivia and our near marriage, life is clearer, calmer, and far better. My lawyer's letter worked. After a week of indignant calls from Olivia's dad to my attorney, which were ignored, a $13,500 check arrived by courier. The threat of a straightforward small claims case and public embarrassment forced their hand. They paid up. Olivia and Ethan? Their destined romance had a predictable end. They dated openly right after our split, their social media filled with over-the-top soulmate posts for 3 months. But without me as their foil, their dynamic fizzled. Ethan didn't want the real Olivia, with her financial struggles and responsibilities. He wanted the thrill of stealing her from me, not the work of being her partner. A mutual friend said their breakup was chaotic. Olivia's life spiraled. She lost the apartment, her lifestyle, and many friends who saw her actions clearly. She's now in a small place an hour away, working a side gig in retail to get by, still telling anyone who will listen, I'm a villain who ruined her over a minor error. Her victim story is all she has. I took a financial hit, $25,000 in lost deposits. But it's the best investment I ever made. A divorce before the marriage. A steal. I used the money saved from the wedding and honeymoon for a month-long solo trip, trekking mountains, diving into books, rediscovering myself without her. The revenge wasn't loud. It was the steady, deliberate act of removing myself from a flawed equation. It was the event coordinator's call about the cancellation policy, the quiet dignity of my guest email, the firm finality of a lawyer's invoice. Olivia thought she could have it all. Me for stability, Ethan for her ego. She underestimated me, assuming my love was a blank check for her disrespect. She learned a shaky foundation can't hold a life's weight. When it collapsed, she was left in the debris, while I walked away, free and unburdened.